The Debt Diva is here to talk about FOMO. Good to have you on the show, Tony Husbands.
Thanks for having me.
So let's tell the viewers, what is FOMO? What does it stand for?
So FOMO stands for fear of missing out. And it can be the anxiety that develops when you have a fear of losing out on something better, potentially better than you're already doing or something that you already have.
So explain how this is a drain on people's finances because they do have this fear of missing out, starting with experiences and gadgets.
Oh, the two things that we love to see splashed all over our social media pages today. So because we live our lives so vividly on social media, Facebook and Instagram, through pictures and now videos, we can really get caught up in the experiences that our friends or associates are experiencing on Facebook, and it can make us want to be more spontaneous and live a life that's full of fun, but it can also be a drain or cause us to overspend if we're not careful. And so, for instance, the latest gadget that's coming out might not be that much different from what you already have. Maybe it has an upgrade or a new feature or a new service, but FOMO can cause you to think that you're really missing out on something if you don't go and immediately upgrade to that latest gadget.
We see this every time a new iPhone comes out. People get whipped up into a frenzy and they think, I've got to have that new phone. I have missed, I don't know how many new phones. I'm still on probably the original one, but it's working for me.
Right.
You also say time. It affects the time drain as well.
It is, because you're spending so much time trying to keep up with what the newest and latest gadget or what the newest event is that you can really wear yourself out and not spend the time that you need to really focus on planning your finances and managing your money well.
And then poor judgment.
Poor judgment, yes, indeed, because if you think about it, FOMO can actually even affect our investments, right? Because we can get caught up in the latest stock tip, or I recently spoke with a gentleman who bought a house because that's what all of his other friends were doing, because that can make us feel like we are not doing or we're not living life to our fullest potential because we're comparing ourselves to what we consider everybody else is doing. So FOMO is really something that you really want to manage because it can really get out of control if you're not careful.
So let's take a look at ways to combat FOMO, starting with a social media fast.
Yes, so we've all heard people say, I'm going off social media but actually that can be a very useful tool because it can just allow you to kind of calm down, first of all, spend more time with the people offline, with your offline friends and associates, and just allow you to really focus in on what you need to do and not be so tempted by what you think other people are doing all the time.
And you say to hang around with like-minded people.
Well, while you're fasting, you can nurture some of these relationships offline with people that have the same goals that you have, and that way you guys are interested in maybe the same types of entertainment. You are not necessarily competing with one another to be one up on the latest gadget. You guys can really focus and encourage one another to stay focused on your financial goals.
And last on your list, and this is good advice, carry cash.
Yes, because when you're out and when you're trying to be spontaneous and trying to live, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But you don't want to overspend. And so when the cash is gone, then the fun stops, and that's a good way
to go home.
That's a good way to really put a rein in your overspend, your tendency to overspend.
You are just wonderful. Thank you, and come back soon.
All right, well, definitely. Thank you.